Power out every Michigan.
Welcome to Startalk with your hosts, Colin and Marty.
Hey, welcome, Marty.
Hey, welcome, Colin.
Welcome to Startalk. We're just waiting for people to come into the live stream. Kev Mo, always the first one here. Good to see you, my friend. And hey, there's been some storms around. You just
definitely
had a storm. This is my first broadcast from down south. I'm in Mexico right now.
Yeah.
And we had a storm last night, big lightning storm. But
Really?
Tell me about yours.
Well, ours was very windy and gusty and power knocked out. Very, very high winds and lots of rain. We've had rain since you left. So you're in a better place as far as I'm concerned.
So last night we're sitting on our deck, beautiful evening, palm trees, not even swaying. And within 2 minutes, without a word of a lie, wind started to come up. All of a sudden, torrential rains,
Wow,
lightning and thunder, and wind like you wouldn't believe, blowing chairs around within 2 minutes, just like our books and iPads are still sitting there on the patio, which is instantly. Anyway, welcome, Mark. Welcome, Lynn. Good to see you. And this first Startalk from Mexico to Vancouver with Marty.
Mexico City.
And so we've had a good time getting here and trying to
Was
acclimatize.
it easy? Was the transition easy?
Yeah, it was very, very busy at the airport. Busier than I've ever seen it in 15 years.
Is that right?
But managed to get here safely. And I told you my car was all moldy. It been sitting for months. So I have to jump start the battery and then had it all shampooed today. So I think we'll be in good shape.
Got to have a vehicle. You got to get around, my friend.
But that's what happens when you this whole last year was a weird year. Nobody came down and you leave your vehicles unattended you have lots in your yard.
I got 10.
Yeah.
10 unattended vehicles.
So you know what it's like to have to clean them out.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
Lynn says it's wet and ugly in Crescent City, storming hard in Northern California.
Right. California has floods and everything.
Anyway, I'm just so thankful to be here with friends on Startalk tonight and finally got set up. I got the new SM7B down here as opposed to my
Wow, very nice.
PR40, and I hope that sounds like a radio voice.
It does. It sounds good.
Trying to get some backdrop and a few things organized for our next show. But
you'll be ready.
Just super, super happy to be here. Now, you said you were talking to Howard.
Yeah, I was talking to Howard, a good friend of yours and mine from Winnipeg, and he's
a radio DJ. He's very famous in Winnipeg.
Yeah, he's always got his finger on the pulse. He informs me that a listener comes in and says, I've got some tapes. Can you play them? So he says, what kind of tapes are they? And he says, reel to reel. He says, what are they? He says, I don't know.
Careful with those because they fall apart the first time.
Yeah, they're brittle and everything. They have to be baked. You're right. Anyways, the long and the short of it is, he had this box in his car. So Howard says, bring him in. And they go into the green room there at the station, go through them. Howard's going through them. Nothing really, Christmas party, dad singing, Merry Christmas, this and that. All of a sudden, he comes across one. It says the Guess Who on it.
Really?
So Howard lights up like a Christmas tree. 1966, February.
1966.
Unknown. So he says, what's on it? He says, I don't know. He says, my father was an engineer, and he worked for the radio station, and these are all his tapes. So he says he could have recorded the band, he could have done interviews, don't know. So Howard says, well, we'll transfer it. Well, they have an engineer there, but for transfers, it's a special process, like you said. So they took a couple of days. They processed it all. They did do a successful transfer. It turns out that it's a full concert of the band. And Howard says, I don't want to give away too much because I'm sending it to you. I says, you're serious?
Wow.
To me, he says, yeah, it's in the mail. So I sent him my address and everything, updated current address and that. So it's on its way. So we will feature it on the show when it arrives. And he says, in addition to that, he says there's a bunch of jingles and a bunch of Coke commercials.
Coke commercials.
Yeah, that the band did. So I said,
oh, do you remember that album, The Wild Pear?
Yeah, definitely, with the staccato.
That was a Coca-Cola promo.
That's very much
it
so.
Had the staccatos on one side and the Guess Who on the other.
Right. Now, another interesting discussion with Howard. Again, super knowledgeable. Dominic Troiano has a brother named Frank Troiano. Really? Dominic has a new book out. Well, Howard received the book, started to read it. Very, very, very good, he said. He highly suggested. So I'm going to suggest it, a pitch for Dom, rest in peace. Dominic Troiano's new book. I haven't got the title, but it's apparently a good read. Anyways, Frank is a master of nostalgia, and Dom being in the Mandela and everything like that prior to the Guess Who and that. He says, I'm going to plug you into him, and he's going to come on to your show and talk about his brother Dom. So I said, whenever he wants to come on, he's more than welcome, and we'd love to have you introduce him. So we may get a double whammy
stories for sure
with Howard and him, and let Howard set it up, and we'll be like the DJs, and he'll be the guest DJ. Anyways, the long and the short of it is, if we backtrack to one of our episodes that you and I had on Startalk here with Gary Peterson, we featured that clip with Dom playing with Don Everly. And Bert,
that's right. Yeah,
he's the guitarist on that clip that we had on our show. So if anybody goes back to the back shows of ours, the older shows on YouTube, and presses the Gary Peterson one, they'll be able to see that footage of Dominic playing with Burton in a different format, not with the Guess Who, but as Burton Cummings guitarist doing the.
If we ever get H on the show, Howard, we'd need a 2-hour show.
Oh yeah, but we could do an anniversary.
No way.
We could do an anniversary show of the best of, show the best snippets of each show,
because
and then have Howard take a half hour.
You guys think Marty has stories? Wait till you hear Howard. He's got stories.
Howard has. You got to remember, he's in a different province. He's a DJ. He has different accessibility than you and I as musicians and tour managers and stuff like that. He's got different access. And that's what it's all about, accessibility to whatever, and collectibles and stories. And that's what Startalk's all about.
Welcome, Grant. Welcome, Lori. Welcome, Harrison. We got more and more people coming into the chat. So I had this dream the other night, and I dreamt that I rescued a cat.
Wow.
And it wasn't a kitten, but it wasn't a full-grown cat. It was like a medium cat, little gray cat.
Stray cat.
I don't know. It was a stray cat. Stray cat. And so what was interesting about that is, in my dream, the cat's name was Drummer.
Wow.
So I figured that's a sign that we should get a drummer on tonight. Now we've had Gary Peterson, but we've also had guitar players. We had Kenny Wayne, who's one of the best jazz, blues, honky tonk, piano players. We've had sax players. We're kind of going full circle. We need a bass player next time, but we'll get to that. And we had Ross last week, which was great because he's a music
Spider
producer.
From Street Howard will set it up.
Yeah, we can mine our Rolodex, so to speak, if people still have those.
We do.
But tonight, I think it's special because the next guest that we're going to bring on is a drummer, and he's just been nominated for the CCMA Awards of Best Drummer of the Year, and I think that's pretty cool. And so I know that a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people that follow Startalk and Starwire, we're talking about a little bit of behind the scenes information that you just wouldn't get in your day-to-day listening on a radio station. So you think we should bring him on?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to bring on Brendan. Oh, he's there. Brendan Lyons, welcome to Startalk.
Yeah, Brendan, welcome.
looking rather festive in your background. I feel outstaged here at this point.
It's
a drum display.
It was a good Home Depot find the other day.
Looks good. We might need a little bit more volume, Brendan.
Might need? Okay, I can turn myself up here.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Coming up.
There we go.
Some more.
So listen, you've been out on tour, and of course there's been this whole COVID thing happening for a year when nobody's touring. How is it now that you're actually getting called to not only do rehearsals, but you're actually doing live gigs? What's the feeling out there in the world actually doing gigs now? I haven't even done any. Well, I have, but I do them on my own.
Yeah, well, I would almost, ask you the same question. I mean, I spent a good part of COVID doing what, a lot of musicians around the city, I'm in Edmonton, have been doing. We did a lot of live streams and pre-tapings and things like that. So you're playing music to a camera or a couple of cameras and a couple of people in the room. So the switch to going back to playing shows, and the switch for us was huge. I spent, the pandemic playing live streams and tapings, and then right away we jumped into doing a bunch of Stampede dates. And for anybody that's been to Calgary Stampede, it's nobody
pretty
cares
incredible.
About, yeah, it's incredible. It's busy, and nobody there cares about.
Marty, do you remember the Coca-Cola stage at the Stampede when it hailed and the hailstones were like the size of golf balls?
Yeah, golf balls. Yeah, they were
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we didn't get hit by any, but they were there.
Yeah, we had to move everything off the stage, and then they
pull everything back.
They got the snow shovels and shoveled off the stage, and we started playing again.
Yeah, oh yeah,
amazing. Well,
yeah, play Jingle Bell.
Just triggered a memory.
Yeah, well, the Coke stage is fantastic. I wish I'd seen some of those, like you guys play with Randy and like all the classic rock bands. I still wish. I wish that they were coming around again, but we didn't play outside during Stampede. We played inside.
Yeah, the Stampede was great. The Klondike days, where you're from, Edmonton, we played there many times. Colin and I played the casino there in Edmonton. Next time we're in the Edmonton vicinity, we'll have you come out and play with us, accompany us.
Oh, geez.
Welcome in the chat to Tim. Hey, guys. Josh was in the room. Agnes, Chris.
Is Austin here tonight?
Haven't seen him yet, but he usually pops in, but soon enough. But that's fantastic that you were able to get out and play. What about the feeling with the rest of the band? I mean, you obviously had to get on a tour bus and you had to go play some dates. Were the venues full or half full, or how did they manage that?
The first show we played at Stampede was full. It was probably 2,500 to 3,000 people, and it was amazing. I think with everybody kind of being starved of live music for a year and a half, everybody came out, and it was funny because that first show back, I don't think that there could have been a rougher show for technical difficulties. It just so happened that a guitar tuner on stage and the guitar tech's tuner on the side stage both were miscalibrated the same way.
No.
So we spent a good part of the show trying to get that ironed out. But regardless, everybody in the audience was just ecstatic to see music again. So we did that one, and then we did a private rooftop thing for a gentleman that hosts a lot of music events around the country. In fact,
now which band was this?
These two dates were with an artist named Aaron Goodvin.
Okay.
And, he's from St. Albert, but he lives in Nashville, and he's incredible. He's a really great songwriter. He's written hits for massive country artists out of the States, and he's starting to blow up in the States now too. So we played a couple of shows with him, and then the last show we played, I played with the artist I play with now, Gord Bamford, and we played Nashville North, and again it was 4,000 or 5,000 people. They were ready for it.
What a great feeling. And what a feeling for you too, because obviously you're the backbone of the band. Everyone's kind of clicking into you. And if there's distractions and technical difficulties going on, I know you're a good technical guy, so that probably doesn't bother you a lot. But How does it jive with your focus when you're really, the rest of the band is counting on you to be the driver? How does that feel, or is that a sense of power actually?
I don't know about power, but I think you're right. Just having dealt with a lot of, technical issues. I'm with Session Wire. I deal with technical issues every single day, and I think in those situations, everybody in the band, both bands that I was playing with, they're all professionals. Gord's band, they've been through the ringer. Like, they've been playing together for 10 or 15 years, and being the young guy kind of stepping in, I only stepped in 4 months ago. There's a little bit of pressure that way, in that I have to show up and do as good or better as the guy before me and make everybody feel comfortable. But there are some things that are just out of your hands, so just kind of go back there.
I used to have a manager that would say at the side of the stage, he'd say, "Take a deep breath and it's over." And no one knows these songs better than you. Get out there.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Hey, Randy's in the room. Hi to Randy. Hi to Chris.
Randy.
Yeah, it's always good. So tell us about, for those people that might be drummers in the chat or know some drummers, how did you get started playing drums, and do you play other instruments, or how did that all come about? And obviously being nominated for, Drummer of the Year with the CCMA, that's a huge badge of honor. How does that make you feel?
Being nominated is incredible. I'm thankful to have been nominated with a bunch of my friends. There's the top 5, so the 4 other guys, I know them all well, and we run into each other all the time. And it's really great that an association like the Canadian Country Music Association, they kind of support musicians that way. I think you've been a side guy before. Often it's thankless is not the right word, because that makes it sound like I don't appreciate what I get to do all the time. But you're kind of behind the scenes doing the thing, and it's incredible to have been thought of that way. So yeah, it's great. I think that the CCMA Awards are at the end of November, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll certainly be rooting for you. And maybe after you win, you can come back on Startalk and go to the next level. Show us your award. But tell us a little bit how you got started. And I know a lot of the fans, we got Larry's in the house. Richard and Donna just joined us. Feel free, guys, to throw some questions in here for Brandon and for Marty and for myself. It's always good to feed off your energy and see what's going on. Give us a little backstory, how you got started, and your first gigs playing drums and what that felt like.
Sure. I guess I'll start right from the beginning. I don't really come from a very musical family. My dad thankfully had great musical taste, though. So, we listened to a lot of Pink Floyd and Alan Parsons Project and Tragically Hip. And he introduced me to I, Mother Earth and Our Lady Peace, which are 2 kind of iconic Canadian bands that I still love to this day. So when I was 7 years old, I can still remember it, sitting in the basement, and I had one of those little toy Casio keyboards that you press a button and it plays a really fast samba beat or something. And I was sitting there playing with it, and my mom came over and she said, "Do you want to take organ lessons?" So I thought, yeah, organ. Looking back on it,
a young John Lord. Here we go.
Yeah. It wasn't like B3 organ either. It was like church organ type stuff, So my brother and I, we both took organ lessons. I took lessons for about 7 years. And, by the time I was 14, I'd started getting into sports, and I wound up playing volleyball for quite a few years while also in school. In high school, we had jazz band, concert band, and then there was a program called CP Express, which was a rock band course you could take. So during that course, we would learn covers, and we wrote a couple of tunes as a class, and you'd also learn how to set up a PA and a lighting system and do sound checks. And we actually came out to Edmonton on a tour, and we played some like middle schools and stuff like that. And I mean, that was a blast. So that was my last year of high school. And then after that, I went and did a Bachelor of Science degree while playing volleyball for Brandon University. So I was studying physics and mathematics with a minor in computer science, and doing that and playing volleyball at the same time. There wasn't a lot of time to play music. So for a couple of years there, it kind of trailed off. I had a cover band called Beauty and the Brutes at one point.
Wow.
And we played some covers and stuff, and that caved in really quick. Our female lead singer got sick of our antics and kind of left. And then started another cover band after that, and kind of slowly got more and more into playing, and I started shifting my focus from volleyball to playing music. And this cover band, we opened for bands like Harlequin and Street Heart and
Tremendous.
440 and stuff like that. And I met my wife, my now wife, and this is 11 years ago. She hired me to play in the pit band for a musical. So because I could read, I ended up playing a bunch of musical theater stuff while I was still in school back home.
Fantastic.
And, after my fourth year of university there, I had 1 year left, and a couple of buddies and I decided that we're going to move out to Edmonton to go to music school the next year. So, I stopped playing volleyball. I finished my Bachelor of Science degree, and we moved out here, and I spent 4 years at MacEwan University doing a Bachelor of Music in drum set performance. And
Cool.
During that time, I started playing with, country bands. I went to jams. I networked and met people and started recording people. And, the connection through a band called Hey Romeo that I played for Hey Romeo for a couple of years, and they had a couple of CCMA awards, and their music's incredible. And they're still really good friends of mine, and I play with them and work with them all the time. And through those connections, I've kind of just worked my way through the country scene, and over the last couple of years played with, a who's who of the Canadian country music scene, and other artists as well. I mean, I have to talk about this guy just because he's phenomenal. There's a blues guitar player named Bill Durst out of Toronto. If you've never heard Bill Durst's playing before, he was one of the artists I played with a few years ago that kind of shifted me into this, wanting to do more badass kind of music and, not play straight ahead country music so much. He's like, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be 70 something, and he plays a 50-year-old Gibson SG plugged straight into a Fender Twin, and it sounds like a freight
Wow.
train. It's incredible. But so
Who was your drum idol growing up?
when?
I'm sure there's lots. I mean, we all
Yeah.
have lots, but there's probably certain albums, at least in our day, Marty, it was vinyl.
Yeah.
But it might have been CDs or whatever you kind of went to that said, I got to play along with this guy. And he was your... did you have a guy like that?
I did, yeah. I think during high school, I discovered Toto.
Yeah.
But I knew about them before. And everybody knows Africa and Hold the Line and Rosanna. But in 2007, they released a new album called Falling in Between. And Simon Phillips was the drummer at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a lot of time even learning how to play open-handed like he did, learning his parts on that record. And he was a big influence. But I mean, Tyler Stewart from Bare Naked Ladies. I love Bare Naked Ladies. Christian Tana from I Mother Earth. Jeff Porcaro. Vinnie Colaiuta.
Vinny, Brother to Brother was one of my favorite albums.
Oh.
And still never get tired of listening to Vinny play on that.
Oh,
And
China.
so many great drummers out there. And Toto, of course, what a great band. I mean, that's my era.
Mm-hmm.
I remember warming up for Toto and spending some time in the dressing room with them. And Lenny Castro came in, and he had one of the very first Lynn drum machines. And so Jeff Porcaro, Lenny Castro, and myself, because I was a keyboard player and I had some stuff and Steve wasn't in the room, we were playing around with this Lynn drum machine and figuring out beats. And I still have a cassette tape to this day of the entire band of Toto and me jamming along with Lenny's Lindrum machine, making up stuff.
I have to hear that. That's
That'd be
incredible.
great.
It was so much fun. It was like, and that's when drummers were worried that drum machines were going to replace them. It's like, are we out of a job? There he is right there.
Carl right there.
You want to cue that up, girl?
There it is. The halftime shuffle.
Yeah,
That's from Rosanna.
undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, taken way too soon. Thinking about where music would be and where he would be if he was still alive today.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's hard.
That's
hard to
one of the
fathom.
famous ones, along with the Purdy Shuffle and a few others. There's
Oh,
some
definitely.
classics out there.
Cool in the
But
rain.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, our mentors, it's, we always stand on the shoulders of those who've come before us, as a wise man said in a lyric on Colin's first set record. And it's really interesting to hear the roots. And I think the people in the chat, welcome Christopher. He says, I love the drum battles at the football games. Edward's in the room. Austin. There you go, Marty.
Austin, there he is.
Austin, Marty was asking about you. He says, howdy, y'all. And Terry,
Yeah, tell him
keyword
I reached
management.
out to tell him I reached out to Lance, and he responded to me after he informed us that he was playing down in Texas.
Waiting for him to reply.
I see Randy
guess.
asked about Hendrix drums as well. I have heard of Hendrix drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I've
nice.
never heard of. Seems like everybody's
never-
playing DWs now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It used to be in the old days Camcos, Ludwigs,
Yeah.
Pearl,
Gretsch.
Premier, Gretsch, but now
Gretsch.
it seems to be everywhere you look, it's a DW kit, huh?
DWs, yeah. There's lots of boutique like Hendrix is kind of a boutique company. There's handmade drum
Ducato.
companies. I have a bunch of old stuff. I'm starting to sell my new stuff actually. And keep
Yeah.
the old drums.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Marty, you have any questions for Brendan? I'm trying to man the chat here and see if I can.
Brandon and I were talking earlier about how he got his start and who he was playing with. Tell us about the Australian gentleman there that you've been associated with, please.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what your demographic is. Anybody in the chat that listens to country music, but
Enlighten them.
yeah. So Gord Bamford, he's been around Canadian country music since the late '90s. When he was really young. I think he moved here when he was 6 years old. So he's Australian, but he moved here when he's 6 years old, and 26 Canadian Country Music Awards, a few Juno nominations, a couple of Canadian Music Awards, the American Canadian Music Awards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There he is right there. Good old Gordy.
Well, that's an actor. Where is Gord?
That's an actor? I thought that was him.
No,
No, that's not him. He's
coming up.
didn't he
my
have like
mistake.
a novelty song that kicked off his career or something like that? Or was
He's
it
had
just a regular country song?
Where is he? Come on, Gord.
It's a good question. Yeah, I mean he's had quite a few hits, a few platinum selling or platinum singles, if you want to say.
Yeah. Does he ever appear?
is.
Or there?
That's him.
There he is.
There's Gordy. Is there any live clip of you with him playing?
There is, yeah, there is. Garnet, I can send that to you if you want.
Yeah, let's
might
find
be
it.
nice might be nice to see you playing along with him.
Yeah, Gord Bamford, Brendan Lyons. There aren't many like audience shot videos with me. I've only been with him for 4 months.
Is
so.
that you on stage there?
No, that's Chad.
Oh, that's his
Friend
father.
Chad.
Okay. So,
Yeah, this is from 2018 when they were in tour in France.
oh wow,
Yeah,
big
he was
stage.
there. There's some plans to go to Spain next year and Australia, and his album's doing quite well in Australia right now. And I think there's probably a couple of arena tours coming up as well. So
Well, that's so exciting for you, Brendan. I mean, not only the nomination, but to be in a band that's actually touring and an album that's doing well. And after your hard work at school, and then it's paid off. So I think it's a good lesson for a lot of the people that are watching this. They may or may not be in the chat, but they might be watching the replay later on YouTube.
Something
And
happened.
it's really good inspiration for other people to say, hey, do your schooling thing and get your degree, but at the same time, follow your heart, follow your passion. So if you were to reach out and want to say anything to up and coming drummers or musicians in general, what kind of advice would you give them?
Oh, well, it's like Marty and I were talking earlier during sound check. I think that the whole idea of saying yes and then figuring out how to do what you're going to do after, in a lot of cases, take opportunities that come your way as much as you can. You know what I mean?
I lost everybody.
Marty, are you there?
I lost everybody. My screen went blank for some reason. I'm gone. I don't know what happened.
But you're there now, so. But I agree with what you say, Brendan, and I probably mentioned this on this show before, but it bears repeating. I know when I had my very first rehearsal with Randy Bachman, I had my keyboard set up, and he walked into the room, and we were getting ready to rehearse, and he looked at me and says, "Where's your guitar?" And I said, "Guitar?" I said, "I don't play guitar. I'm doing the Burton Cummings piano stuff." He goes, "Well, we're doing BTO songs too. So here's a guitar. Go learn the songs. Come back when you've learned them."
Yep.
And that was an opportunity, and I did. Next thing you know, I'm standing on a giant stage with an amp, and playing "Ain't Seen Nothing Yet." And all the
Can't
rest.
get out of here.
So you having trouble there, Marty?
My screen went completely blank when Garnet put that video on. Something triggered on my screen and put me totally out. I think I'm going to have to reboot my computer and rejoin you guys.
Well, you could probably just stop StreamYard and rejoin us, but we see you fine and we hear you fine, so it's totally up to you. We're past the half-hour mark. So,
you can see me, but I can't see you.
That's probably a good thing tonight.
Well, I'll keep laughing. Sorry about that. I
just had some tropicals. I was telling these guys earlier, for those people that just joined us, I was in a tropical storm last night, and it's very, very humid and muggy, and I'm just sweating from my forehead profusely. But I do have an air conditioner, but it would make way too much noise on the podcast, so I'm suffering through it just for you guys. Love all you Startalk folks.
Very much.
It's a goat 30. Grant says, okay.
So Colin, you can see me?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you.
I can't. So I've got nothing on my screen except a Google page, and I can't get out of it. I'm afraid to do anything, so I should just stay focused to the camera.
Well, I'm going to bring Garnet on to do a little bit of a chat about the upcoming NFTs. So Why don't you log off and then log back in?
Good idea.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
So welcome to Startalk, Garnet.
Hey guys.
Oh, there he is. Surprise, surprise.
Good to be here. Brendan, welcome. It's good to just hear your story, hear your journey, and see the success. I think that's someone told me this little creed they had, which was
I'm there.
You're here.
I can see you, Marty.
Thank you. I can see you.
Colin can see you. Brendan can see you.
Hey,
this is what's called
the Google page. I get rid of the Google.
It's the walk of faith. You just have to believe.
There's a ghost in this house.
So they said, here was their creed. They said, you dream it, you earn it, and then you live it. And the idea of a young musician, having that initial just impulse, wherever that comes from inside of you, to go after this kind of crazy lifestyle, right? While the rest of the world is going off and, pursuing their careers, sort of like, oh, wow. I have this passion inside of me, whether it's drummer, guitar player, keyboard player, artist, movie maker, or whatever, a farmer even. But there comes that time, the point where you have to actually earn it and do the hard work. And that's kind of inspiring to see more and more like young musicians. Like, it's amazing. You know, I play drums as well, you know, maybe more of a part-time hobby. But all of a sudden you'll go on YouTube and you see these little kids, right?
Yeah.
These 10-year-olds
Yeah.
just totally
Terrifying.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's what technology has done. Younger musicians have been able to, you know, learn from great drummers at a much quicker rate.
Mm-hmm.
You think it is sort of attributed to YouTube just having access to more drummers?
Absolutely. Well, if you look at the history of the drum set, it's only 100 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fairly young instrument. You know, guitar younger, bass younger, yeah, but you know, wind instruments and stringed instruments are much older. And you know, I don't think we've seen the peak of what people can do on a drum set yet. So YouTube, accelerating things, and I'm by no means like a virtuoso player. I would never do some of that stuff. I could never do it. But I think along with that, you know, saying yes to everything and learning how to do it, also holding yourself to extremely high standards is, at least for me, that I tend to find that gets things going too. And you know, oftentimes such high standards that I have a hard time, you know, not putting those standards on other people. You know, I have a hard time not projecting those standards on people and just making sure that I'm doing what I can do. But you know,
I heard it's kind of the same in sports as well.
Mm-hmm.
After people watch the Michael Jordan Netflix special, they say we're about to see a whole new generation of like basketball players who've coming up, because now they've seen that it's like they're being tutored online, and which, you know, kind of has to do with the technology you and Colin are engaged with at SessionWire.
Mm-hmm.
And of course at Starwire, we have our own little technology that we're creating. And kind of the way I describe it, the easiest is, as technology innovation is happening in the space of, you know, musical players and instruments themselves, there's been an evolution of financial technology happening at the same time. And we're seeing, with the emergence of blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and now Ethereum, that we're about to launch a new innovation called NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. We're about to see, you know, another evolution. I think it's great in that, especially in the area of music, where musicians are maybe have been infringed upon some of their rights to earn in a fair way from their music. We see a technology where musicians and fans can actually benefit in a real cool way. And of course, part of the NFTs is about building a community, and that's something that artists are really good at, creating communities around their music, fan bases that learn to love the music and kind of form their own little tribe. I'm sure all of you have, you know, stories of the extreme love and adoration that your fans have for you, right? The idea of collectability with NFTs, and that's something, again, that maybe in these days of streaming music, which is very nice, just to be able to talk to your Google or, you know, your phone and just say, hey, play me the Beatles, whatever, to have it play instantly. But there's also something beautiful about being able to collect the music you love. It's another thing. And of course, access. And when we talk about bringing all those abilities, that's what we're about to launch here at Starwire, is an NFT series. And we believe this is going to be a series that, is going to bring not only value for the fans of music and movies, but for the creators of music and movies. And it is a big educational and learning experience. And I wanted to bring in Jason, who he's kind of our professor of NFTs, studying the space. It's a space that's emerging. I'm going to bring him in.
There he is.
And
hey, boys, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen.
NFT Guru.
NFT Guru. That's hilarious. That's right. There you go. I'm an NFT crazy. That's what we call it.
JW's in the house.
Yes. Hey, Colin. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Excellent.
Brandon's in the house. Garnet's in the house.
Brandon, nice to meet you. I used to twiddle a few sticks in the day, but that was a long time ago. Oh, a long time ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of
time to get back
sticks,
in.
there is going to be an upcoming
I don't know if I have to-
giveaway tonight. And I think Brennan has some sticks
Nice.
for us.
Yeah.
So any of you drummers, or if you know someone
Look at that.
who's a drum, or
Oh, man. That's awesome.
Giveaway sign.
Autographed.
they're going to be signed by Brendan, and they're going to be yours if you're chosen. And
Your
we'll-
non-fungible drumstick.
yeah,
Be a good NFT, actually.
Non-fungible drumsticks.
I like it.
That's very-
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I just want to say, in your honor tonight, I ordered a drumstick Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Like chicken drumstick?
No, yeah, no, yo.
What's in it?
No. Don't you know those drumsticks that you get at the store? You know, like they're
the
drumsticks.
Dairy
Oh,
Queen.
the one with
Ew.
That was the first place my
Chicken
brain went.
wings. Yeah, I like it though. That's good. That's good. You
I
know,
like it.
that's
Dairy
so
Queen or chicken wings?
No, not chicken wings. No,
Oh.
drumsticks. Drumsticks,
Oh.
like the things you get at the
Drumstick
store.
Blizzard.
Yes, a drumstick Blizzard.
Yeah.
That's right. No chicken involved.
No
Fantastic.
chicken tonight.
hey,
Well,
Jason,
I told you guys at the
wanted-
beginning of the show that I had a dream about the cat that I rescued. His name was
Yeah.
Drummer. So this
That's
show
true.
is
Wow.
dedicated to
Drum
Drummer.
oriented show.
So it's going to be hashtag Drummer.
Hey,
Tonight
hey,
is
Yes.
going to be
that's gonna be
the
it.
hashtag.
Who is the
Awesome.
drummer
I like
for
it.
Cat Stevens? Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Oh, is it trivia night? Now it's trivia night. I
Let's
like
not do trivia night because Marty will win.
it. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, Jason, I wanted your reaction. Now, this was NFT news for October. I didn't tell Jason that I was going to ask him this. So
Bring it on.
top 5 upcoming NFT drops to watch in October. Let's see if you recognize any of these.
Oh yeah,
Mechaverse.
Mechaverse. Yeah.
Okay, have they minted yet?
They have minted yet. They got a lot of flack because a lot of their things look the same, and if you look at their backgrounds, they're all the same. But they're a different style. Not a different style, but they're 3D style. So
Lego.
yeah, you betcha. Which is it's pretty cool.
Okay, we got the Shiba family.
Wow.
I don't know much about them because they're on the Solana network. So
Looks like Robin Hood.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Rainbows coming
And
out of these.
Solana's a different chain than it's not recognized on OpenSea where you do most of my NFTing, but I've expanded that. But
And they're
I'll
selling
talk about
30,000.
Yeah,
That's
look
pretty
at that.
good.
Wow.
Okay. What else we got? The Bone World.
The Bone World, nice. I did not know about that one. I don't know how well they did.
These are
10,000.
3D avatars, public sale.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of the reason I like to see the names, right? So you got
Right,
Yeah, for sure.
Infinity Frogs.
Haven't heard of them. I'm not sure how well they did. They
10,000,
didn't
yeah.
make an impression, as far as I know.
I like
Unless
that.
maybe it's the end of October. I don't know. Well, it
October
got
8th.
kind of it got kind of hard for the NFT space during October because we had the big pump in Ethereum. So Ethereum went up in price. So when Ethereum goes up in price, it puts a lot of pressure on the collectible market because the collectibles, everyone has it in their mind that they price them out in US dollars, right?
Yeah.
So when all of a sudden, like the price of Ethereum goes up and prices, and you're still buying in Ethereum, but now you're paying more in dollars. You got to think of it as it's like a three-legged stool. One leg is Ethereum, one leg is United States dollars, and the other leg would be the NFT itself. And they all have value, but it's like a little bit of like a a little bit of a balancing session to find where your prices are going to land, to keep the Ethereum people happy, the United States dollar people happy, and the people that just believe in the NFT itself.
Exactly.
Some folks in the chat really want to win that set of drumsticks. I'm seeing hashtag drummer all over the place.
How do you pick?
Sweet.
And we have Gerald Conway, who was the drummer for Cat Stevens, as well as Jethro Tull.
Good job. There you go.
Nice.
Wait a minute.
Gerald Conway.
Let's see his picture again.
Gerald Conway is the drummer in the 70s for Cat Stevens. Then he went on to drum for Jethro Tull.
Okay.
Trivia question answered. Winner me. I'll take the sticks.
No.
Pair too. You probably have more valuable drums.
We'll mint you another pair.
No way.
So Jason, obviously we got our own NFT.
Yes, sir.
That is going to be coming. We're pretty excited. I mean, this is early stages for those of you who've been following us. We
got your goat?
Have a theme. The theme is the greatness, right? So Brendan, we believe, you've been inspired by great drummers. We think it's worthy to honor those great ones, or the greatest of all times.
Greatest of all time.
The goats, right?
Ooh.
So that is
cool.
kind of the theme. So in order to kind of participate in our community, you'll have a goat. And the goat is going to give you access, special access. I mean, what would you give to been able to have a conversation with Jeff Porcaro when he was alive? Like, that would have been pretty special, right?
Good point. Yeah.
And we're not saying that if you have a goat, we're going to bring Jeff Porcaro back from the dead, and so you can talk to him. No,
we could talk to Brandon.
But
Exactly.
We'll definitely talk to his brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring you access. There's going to be a cool collection. We'll, after Jason shares a little more, I'll give one little secret hint, because we've been working on the wardrobe for the goats. And these are stars, right? They're all-star goats, so they've got to look good. So we've been styling them with the best clothes, with the best necklace. I'm going to share one of my favorite chains that these goats can sport, if you're lucky enough to get this particular one. Jason, what is the process that we're at now, and like where we're going? Like, what is kind of the next steps for our community? Well,
the next steps. Okay. Well, as soon as we get the date hammered out when the drop's going to be, we're going to right away, we're going to start building up we're going to be enhancing our community with and inviting more people to be part of our community. People that want to be part of Startalk, but we're going to be calling it the Goats, of course, or something else. You'll see. Yeah. So the next step is to weed out who really wants to be there, because it's an exclusive club, and there's only one way to be part of the Goats, and it's to own a goat. So
isolated goats.
The isolated goats. Well, the prestigious, the extraordinary, the club of extraordinary gentlemen goats. I'm not sure.
Extreme goats.
The extreme goats. The prestigious
goats.
backstage pass goats. That's right. That's right. It's a prestigious club, so it's gonna cost something to get in that club. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're streaming live on Facebook, I think, because we're starting to get some Facebook people in the chat.
Oh, that's great. Well, welcome to everyone from Facebook. Welcome to Startalk.
Completely, everybody.
Yeah, you betcha.
Joining.
Yeah. So and that's called whitelisting. When you start weeding out the people that really want to be there and who want to be part of your community, who want to join this wonderful, amazing community that we have called Startalk. We're going to be vetting. Whitelisting is vetting the people that really want to be there. So that's what we're going to be doing. Vetting.
Somebody in the chat is asking. We got some people joining us from Twitter as well. Which is
nice. Hey, welcome to all you Twitter people out there. It's nice.
Somebody says, Keyword Management says, does Brendan do film work also?
Ooh.
Yeah, I suppose I do. I do a lot of content for Session Wire. I have been. Hoping to get back into that right away, and I guess yeah. I mean, my website has some videos that I've done just in my studio. I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to film work, but
well, we might get you in a pig movie, but we'll see.
Hey, Garnet, maybe he should play a little bit there. Can he play?
Oh yeah, we did set the mics up.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, Brendan? Show us, stretch your stuff for Jason. You can.
We got 9 minutes left, so
doesn't matter. You only have to do 2.
Oh, maybe this is the outro.
That could be
a drumming outro.
People in the chat are saying I'm trolling Brendan on YouTube.
Trolling or trolling? Be kind.
Good job.
No, it's been fantastic to have you on, Brendan, and I think it's really important, both for Starwire and, of course, for Session Wire as well, that we are promoting new musicians, young musicians, even veteran musicians, creative people from all walks of life. And we want to be part of the solutions to their creative journey. And there's been a lot of blockages, a lot of obstacles throughout time. And the creative people seem to always rise to the top, but there's always those few that seem to fall through the cracks just because they don't know the right people or they haven't been able to be in the right environment. So we want to offer people a chance through software, through technology, to be able to collaborate and to, bring their mission, their inspiration forward. And so, the goats are something fun that we're doing, but it's also an inner circle. It's something that you can be part of, and we can start to lift each other up. And like I said earlier, and I'll repeat the quote, we stand on the shoulders of those who come before us. And that's our mission. And, Marty, how old are you?
74.
74. And you've been mentoring me, and I'm 35. So we have to all kind of work together. Tongue in cheek, everyone's laughing. Come on. Where's those?
Everybody laugh.
So anyway, maybe we'll hear a little something on the outro. In the meantime, Garnet, you want to cue up the spin to win?
Oh yeah.
The Wheel of Fortune.
I don't think I've seen this many hashtags in the chat.
No,
since the beginning of Startalk. Everyone is hashtag.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, Brendan.
It must have been the cat story.
Yeah, it's the cat story. That's right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Come on. Big money. Who's gonna win? Who's
the winner?
Come on, winner, chicken dinner. Come on.
Lori. Hey, Lori.
Congratulations, Lori.
Woo! Drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll.
Hey,
Lori's going to get those framed.
Hey, part of
nice.
Our title tonight was 10 crazy things you didn't know about drummers.
Right.
And I don't know what those 10 things are, so we better give a couple.
Well, here's one. What do you call a drummer without a girlfriend?
Homeless.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
do you
the
tell-
Hey, Garnet, how about
Brandon
homeless
knew the
goat?
answer to that one. That was great.
How do you tell if the stage is level?
Hey, JW,
Oh,
what do you think about homeless goats? Get one, adopt a goat.
Adopt a goat. Adopt a goat. No, we don't need to adopt a
Brendan.
goat.
JW
goat's
and
good.
Marty, you're overloading your mics.
Oh,
Wait a minute. We got to
Big
hear the
distortion.
punchline. What?
Oh, yeah. Was it? How do you tell if the stage is level? The drummer's drooling out of both sides of his mouth.
That's a good one.
that's
gets
awesome. It's true though. I was a drummer. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's hard.
not much. That I had
Sometimes it
fun.
just happens.
That's right. Exactly. It's the hardest job. It's the hardest job, man. Like
Exactly.
that's a lot of exercise back there.
It is work.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you don't have the drums, then there's a bass solo.
Oh,
Nobody wants that.
the bass. The bass people would be lost without the
Well,
drum.
I think you can't talk about drummers without talking about the exploding drum kit, right? That was one of the most famous moments in musical history. Who was that? Who blew their drum set up?
Wasn't it
Oh.
Keith Moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the Johnny Carson show or something.
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
gosh! Seriously?
They put
Oh,
dynamite
Keith-
in it. or-
Keith Moon was a maniac.
Yeah. I don't know
And-
if I don't know if anybody's seen the Ginger Baker documentary, but that's worth a watch.
No,
too.
but he was an amazing drummer.
Yeah.
Well, we got 4 minutes left. I forgot to ask you this earlier, Brendan, but you just spent some time doing a video with J.R. Robinson. Now, I can tell that most of the people on this chat and even here on Startalk probably don't know who J.R. Robinson is. So maybe set that up as who he is first, and then give us a little insight into your experience working with him.
Sure.
I found it fascinating.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So for anybody who doesn't know who J.R. Robinson is, if you've listened to the radio anytime in the last 30 years, you've heard him play on something. He's the most recorded drummer in history. Michael Jackson,
really?
Chaka Khan. The list it's too long to name everybody he's worked with, but
So let's just say Michael Jackson and everyone gets it.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. So we were connected at SessionWire to JR through a fantastic engineer named Steve Sykes in LA, and Steve himself has worked with, a who's who of studio musicians: Vinny, Greg Bissonette, Jimmy Johnson, Steve Lukather. He's fantastic. So we ended up connecting with JR to do a remote drum session using SessionWire.
Wow.
So Steve
Wow.
Sykes was at JR's house, and they connected to me with SessionWire, and
Cool.
we tied Kevin at SessionWire in to the call as well, and JR played in person across the glass through SessionWire for us, and it was one of the most surreal things. You know what drummers sound like. I can tell that's X drummer, Carter Beauford, Vinny, or something. It was that moment, but it was actually happening. That is what J.R. Robinson sounds like.
Nice.
Right there, and he's doing it in real time in front of your face. It was
In front of your face.
That's
my
right.
face. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, very, very thrilled to have gotten to work with him. I'm supposed to connect with him again later this week about something again. So, thrilled. It's just one of those who thing. If I wasn't involved with SessionWire, I wouldn't have been able to speak to anybody that I've connected through SessionWire. So,
And if you weren't part of the Starwire group, you wouldn't get to meet Brendan Lyons. And as Kevmo says in the chat, whatever floats your goat.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that.
Hey,
Kevmo, you get a
that's
shout out
awesome.
tonight. That's really great. We're gonna have to use that one for sure.
ah,
Anyway, we got 1 minute left, and are you gonna take us out with a little bit of drumming
sure could.
for our
Oh
outro?
man, that's awesome.
he's gonna do it live.
I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna lose I'm not gonna be able to hear you for a second.
That's
but I'll-
fine.
okay.
That's okay. Hey, thanks
We'll
for coming
be here.
on, Brendan.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Brendan.
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Appreciate it.
And now for something completely different.
Nice.
Well, I like it when we actually are wired up,
Look at that.
mic'd up. Right?
Come on. Pienza
Oh,
says,
Oh, he even has the right camera angle and everything.
He's got everything. He's also got drums on display there. He's cool.
Yes. Come on.
oh,
Come on, hit her.
And lighting.
Oh, that sounds
on.
good.
Look at that. That's good bass.
You must be using session wire.
Sweet.
Wow, that's cool.
That is good.
Lighting's great. Angle's great. Feels great. Live on session wire.
All right, Black Page. Let's go.
We want everybody on the white page. White page.
Right on, Brennan.
Very good, man.
Come on. Give us
More. We want more.
give me some more.
Jason wants an AC/DC beat. Come on.
No, this is good. This is good.
Well,
How
thanks
about
everybody
feeling
for
it?
being thanks everybody for being part of Star Talk tonight. On behalf of Colin and Marty, Garnet, JW, and our special guest Brendan Lyons,
Yeah.
potentially CCMA Drummer of the Year coming up in November.
come
we'll
on.
see. We've got fingers crossed for
We'll
Brendan.
be voting. We'll be voting.
So thanks everybody for being on the call and all these latecomers that have joined us in the chat. So great to see you. Always
Catch
good
the
to have
replay.
you.
That's right.
So, good night from
On
Star
YouTube.
Talk. And
That's
we'll
right.
See you we'll see you